This suit is bulletproof. It is capable of pneumatically controlled flight. It has titanium steel appendages that facilitate climbing and offensive maneuvers. It has rocket-powered blasters that fire powerful projectiles at will. In short, the wearer of this Halloween costume would gain instant power.
Even with all the recent news surrounding Marvel's Avengers, I still have enough time to talk about our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very exciting Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales related video. Now, this is actually going to be a relatively quick video considering the extremely small amount of quote-unquote news that we actually received directly from one of the main cast members. And funny enough, this information is actually entailed within a very small behind-the-scenes clip featuring the main man himself of Miles Morales with that of Najee Jeter, who, if you don't know, Najee is actually both the face model and the voice of Miles Morales within Spider-Man PS4 and of course Miles Morales PS5. So just in case you happen to miss this news, because in all fairness it did happen relatively quickly, is that Najee Jeter himself actually posted a very small behind the scenes look of him recording dialogue for Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I have to give a huge shout out to @MarvelsBoost and @SixPumpPain on Twitter for actually showing me this video before Najee removed it on his Instagram account.
I better check in with Uncle Aaron. Ring, ring, and he's like, yeah.
Hey, Mr. Davis, how are things looking now? Hey, Mr. Davis, how are things looking now?
I like the A of those two. That's perfect. And let me get the non-exerted one because I don't think the next one is for a while.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Davis, how are things looking now? Hey, Mr. Davis, how are things looking now?
Yeah, maybe just a little more.
So as you hopefully saw and heard during that extremely short video, we did get to receive a very small insight as to exactly how the recording process is going for Miles Morales PS5. Because as it was previously revealed from both Insomniac Games and Yuri Lowenthal himself, who, if you are unaware, is indeed the main voice of Peter Parker from Spider-Man PS4, is that Yuri actually had to record two separate sets of dialogue when he is acting out lines as Peter. Initially, Yuri had to record the dialogue in an ordinary manner as to how he would act it out normally. And secondly, he then went on to record the dialogue again, but this time acted out as if he were actually moving around New York City as Spider-Man would when he is swinging around New York. This just goes to show how much attention to detail Insomniac inputted within Spider-Man PS4, and once again witnessing that same exact level of immersion that Najee Jeter is incorporating within his overall performance as Miles Morales within this next game. But what's more important than any of that is actually in regards to the specific lines of dialogue that we hear Najee say during his recording. Furthermore, the main name that the VO director and Najee himself brings up within this video already fully indicates a character that we know exists within the current Marvel Spider-Man universe. And knowing that this upcoming standalone title is indeed a Miles Morales spin-off game which will solely focus around a narrative with that character, it would make absolute sense for this particular villain to appear one way or another within the game down the line. And as you should all know by now, we're obviously talking about Miles Morales' uncle, Aaron Davis, also known as the menacing Prowler. So given the overall context that we do know about this game so far, it was pretty much a no-brainer for Insomniac to incorporate the Prowler within the narrative of Miles Morales PS5. And even though there is another version of the Prowler that we do know from the comics with Hobie Brown, I'm glad that Insomniac seems to be taking the much more fulfilling narrative route by using a character that connects more to Miles Morales in and out of the Spider-Man costume. Like we already know at this point from Spider-Man PS4, the best narrative aspect that came from that story is where Peter Parker and Spider-Man's worlds collide. Not to mention that the overall consequences that that story held directly tied into Peter Parker and Spider-Man's characters simultaneously. As Bill Roseman said, when Spider-Man wins, Peter Parker loses. But when Peter wins, Spider-Man loses. And seeing that mantra will hopefully continue within Miles Morales' Morales' story is surely going to make for an extremely emotional and impactful narrative. Now, as for the specific context as to what's going on during this scene, I think in this particular scenario, Miles definitely seems to be talking to Aaron over the phone, but if anything, I do think he's actually talking to him as Spider-Man. And based on the fact that Miles is directly referring to Aaron as that of Mr. Davis instead of that of Uncle Aaron, I do think it's safe to say that Aaron Davis is not aware of Miles Morales' secret identity. So whether or not that ends up becoming a narrative point within this game's story is something that we'll just have to wait and see on. But I know for a fact, if it's anything like what we got between Peter Parker and Otto Octavius' relationship in Spider-Man PS4, then I can almost 110% guarantee that we are in for one hell of a ride. And based on all the details that Insomniac provided for this game's basic premise so far, it makes me even more hyped to see what an official story trailer for the game could look like down the line. And with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about Najee's video of him recording dialogue for Miles Morales PS5, and how pumped are you to actually see Prowler within this game's universe? Now again, even though this isn't by any means official confirmation of Prowler to appear within Miles Morales PS5, I still genuinely believe it is a very safe bet to make at this point. Especially after seeing some of the high-tech armor that the standard criminals are wearing within the Miles Morales PS5 trailer, that makes me even more pumped to see what Prowler's design could look like within the Insomniac universe. And just knowing how well designed the previous villains looked within Spider-Man PS4, I definitely feel confident in saying that we are in safe hands when it comes to Miles Morales PS5. But until next time, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and peace out.
That's impossible. I'm stronger than you.
Your freak genes don't cut it anymore. Not when the Prowler's on your tail.
The Prowler, huh? You! Catchy name! But just who are you when you're at home? Nice claws! You ever hang out with my friend Wolverine?